The Lord's my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. This is day 23, and I'm reflecting on the 23rd Psalm. With good reason, this poetic psalm is the best known and most often quoted of all the psalms, and has brought comfort, strength and encouragement to people for thousands of years. It was written by David, the shepherd king, as he looked back on his life in which he had faced many struggles. It's a love song that expresses his thankfulness to God for his constant love and provision. We're complex beings, and we live in a complex society, and we understand well that individually we're made up of physical, emotional, psychological, spiritual and social parts. The opening verses of this psalm address all of these things. We could paraphrase it like this: Lord, you provide food to eat, water to drink, space to rest, healing of the heart, right relationships with God and neighbor. There's no aspect of our lives that God is not interested in. The next verse reflects some of David's difficult life experiences. And he says, Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. I wonder, was it David's experience as a soldier that led him to that? Or was it perhaps the loss of his two sons, one through illness, the other through armed rebellion? Every reader is going to apply their own circumstances to this particular verse and find the promise of God's perfect love that drives out fear. As we look across the seas today to Italy and Spain and beyond, and to the tragedies unfolding there, this verse takes on a whole new perspective. I heard a most moving story recently from a doctor in Italy who wrote, Until 2 weeks ago, my colleagues and I were atheists. 9 days ago, a 75-year-old pastor was admitted into the hospital. He was a kind man. He had serious breathing problems. He had a Bible with him and impressed us by how he read it to the dying as he held their hands. We doctors were all tired, discouraged, psychologically and physically finished. When we had time, we listened to him. We realized that we needed to start asking God for help. We do this when we have a few free minutes. When we talk to each other, we cannot believe that though we were once fierce atheists, we are now daily in search of peace, asking the Lord to continue to help us so that we can take care of the sick. In that hospital in the valley of the shadow of death, these doctors have found their souls restored and their strength renewed. In the final verses of Psalm 23, we look to the future restoration of all things in a kingdom that is not of this world. It says, You prepare a table for me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. May you know today the comfort of God's presence and his perfect love that drives out all fear and which restores your soul. May God bless you and keep you.